Good afternoon. My name is Mohamed Lamin Drame, and a warm welcome to this special interview, of course, with a special guest on this studio. The guest is Honorable Omar Ceesay, the spokesperson of the Gambia Democratic Congress, GDC, and the former National Assembly member for Niamina East. Without a doubt, Honorable Omar Ceesay was someone who was very prominent in the 5th legislature, but unfortunately he couldn't be re-elected by his people, those that elected him in 2017. Omar is with me here to discuss, of course, issues of national interest and also about himself and his political party, Gambia Democratic Congress. Good afternoon, Honorable Omar Ceesay, and welcome to this special interview. I know you are not new here.
Thank you, Mr. Drame, and I am so pleased to be invited here. So it's my pleasure to see myself on this very platform.
Yeah, let's start with your re-election. You went back to your people in April, seek re-election, but you were not elected. What went wrong?
Well, if you ask me that question, I will simply say the people of Niamina are the sole desire of whom to elect and who not to elect. So obviously I believe it is their right to choose the person they believe they should elect, or the person that they believe will better serve their interests. Obviously they mandated me to represent them for a period of 5 years. The 5 years elapsed, and of course I seek their mandate again to better represent them, but this never went through. So all that I have to say is to thank the people of Niamina East for the trust and confidence that they have in me for the past 5 years.
Are you disappointed that you did not get the mandate from them again?
Well, I wouldn't say I am disappointed, because the people did what they are supposed to do.
By electing someone else and not you?
What I'm saying is the people did what they believe that they should do. That is to elect another person and not me. So obviously there is no disappointment that I have. If they believe that the person currently elected is the best person to represent them, so be it. I only know that I am still representing Niamina East, representing them in the sense that whatever that I feel is an issue of national interest, anything that I feel will better help the people of Niamina East, I will always raise my concern. I don't only have to be in the National Assembly to talk about prominent issues, to talk about issues affecting Niamina East, to talk about issues affecting the young people, to talk about issues of national interest. I don't only have to be MP to be discussing things of that nature. All the time, wherever the opportunity is created, I can always share my opinion. So I believe the people of Niamina East, all that I have to do, or I have to say, is to thank them for their effort and support.
Yeah, that's very right, Honorable. You can talk about issues of national interest, even if you are not at that place, the Parliament. But we are talking about your re-election. You served for 5 years. Don't you think you have not done enough to be re-elected?
Well, I only know that I was definitely doing my best.
Was your best enough?
I was actually, there is nobody that can do enough for everyone, even the president, and even the person that they believe can do so. There is nobody that can do enough. You can only do things to the best of your ability. There is no one that can complete everything. There is no one that can finish all. So all that you can do is to do things to the best of your ability. So where you stop, another person will continue from there. So I believe I did my best while I was there. So obviously, I know my performance does not warrant the people of Niamina East not to re-elect me. It could be something else, but not my performance.
So what do you think must have been responsible?
Well, all that I can say, the rest of the question maybe you can ask the people of Niamina East, because they own the votes. and they were the one voting. They were the one choosing who to represent them. Obviously, all that I know is most of the people out there, the belief, the concept, the notion, and the mentality that they have is this: we have to support the government. If you are against the government, it means you are against God. That's the belief, so, especially those in the provinces.
But as a politician and as a political party, now one of the responsibilities of political parties in a country is to educate the citizens. What have you been doing towards that?
This is something that me alone cannot do. This is something, this is something that you and I must be out there to do. This is something that the civil society must be out there to do. This is something that other political parties must be out there to do. This is something that the civil society and the civic education must be out there to do.
More especially civic education.
Obviously, I play my part. That is by sensitizing the people, by letting them know their rights, of course, and what it means to vote for an individual, to vote for a competent individual, of course. And I was able to do that in a very disciplined and very mature manner. So obviously, this is something that I have done. But this is a mentality, it's a long time thing.
It has been there for a while.
It has been there for a long time. And it will be difficult, I alone, to change that mentality, to change that mindset within a short period of time. I believe us out there, we can help. The government equally should help. You cannot just be in the government and start telling people things that are not actually the right thing. Because if you are telling people out there that it is only the government that can do A, B, and C, and not the opposition. The opposition are against this. The opposition can never do anything that will better serve your interest. You are misleading the people. And most of the people out there in the provinces, they believe in the incumbent more. Okay. I will put it that way. Because they believe if you are against the government, you are against God. In fact, we had very top individuals like the former Vice President Aissatou Toure saying this: if you are against Barrow, you are against God.
Yeah, I've read that.
So, of course, if well-educated people, people of that caliber, okay, are saying this to the ordinary people, making them believe this, when people already believe this and you are adding salt to that, obviously it will be difficult for you and I to change such.
Yeah, I know this has been the mentality that we, or let's say people in the provinces, should not go against the government. In fact, not only people in the provinces, but even around this area, you will hear some people saying, we are not going to go against the government, we have to follow the government. But one thing that I cannot, imagine here is, in 2017, you won, but you were an opposition. But this time around, you are saying this.
Very well.
Was this not happening in 2017?
You see, let me better explain this.
Okay.
Let me extend the explanation.
Okay, that will be quite.
In 2017, when everyone was struggling to uproot the former president, Yaya Jammeh, Niamina is still insisted to vote in for Yaya Jammeh.
Okay.
Yaya Jammeh won in that very constituency with a huge margin.
In Niamina is right?
Very well.
Okay.
When everyone was struggling, day and night, to uproot this very man, Niamina is still insisted that they have to vote in for the person who is occupying the seat. And that was Yaya Jammeh. So I see the mentality, that is to say, their belief is we have to support the sitting president. So after the presidential election, then the coalition won the election.
Exactly.
This coalition, there was no specific party heading this coalition. Adama Barrow, the president today, who was heading that coalition, was an independent candidate.
You are right.
So he was just heading a transition.
Okay.
People never knew what actually was going on. Tey ci wolof denen wax ne li nguuri jàppande la kii daf ñu fa nekkaaleel. So people don't know actually where to base themselves. That is why they don't have a specific party. They don't know actually who is there.
And all of a sudden...
So all of a sudden they say, well, now hence we don't know what actually is going on. Let us be here first.
Okay.
And that's how they supported the GDC. Okay. That is how actually I won this election in Niamina East. Of course, I believe Most of the people were able to calculate the competent. Most of the people, they were able to compare how to calculate the benefit that the party is contributing, and of course how significant the party was. Are you seeing the point? So actually they said, here is the right place to base ourselves for now and see what is going to happen in the long run. So when they realize that there is now a newly established party owned by the incumbent, owned by the president, we can move. Because for us, we will never be opposition. This, they will tell you, go to them, interview them, talk to them. They will tell you this in a very clear terms. That you know what? For us, anyone who is president, we are with you. If you are out, we are out. We will join the next president. Well, as simple as that.
Then the opposition political parties, they have a huge task if they want to...
You see, it's not the whole country, one can say, because this past election we have seen in other places
where opposition,
even independent candidates won the election. Opposition parties won the election. You see, there are just some very few areas, one can say, they are still bearing this mindset. They are still keeping into this. And it is very difficult maybe for one to eradicate that mindset from them. So I believe we will continue doing our best. We will continue sensitizing them. But in as much as I, Omar Ceesay, I am concerned, I have nothing to regret. Because I didn't just go to school because of one position. I didn't go to school because of one employment. So obviously, the wall is open. Anyone, if you believe you have the competence to occupy other areas, so be it.
That's interesting. So you served for 5 years. I can remember vividly when you were elected, you were going to Gambia College. I was the information minister of the student union, so I know how things pop up by then. So you served for 5 years. What have you done for people of Niamina is that you always sit and say, I have done this for them when I was the National Assembly member for them?
Well, it depends on, in as much as I want to emphasize that I must boil it down to my duties and responsibilities, the role and the function of a National Assembly member.
Okay.
There are just three, one can say. That is to perform oversight, representation, and lawmaking. Okay. And I believe I was very prominent in exercising some of these functions. That is to check, to scrutinize, and of course to oversight the executive and everything that has to do with the government. And of course, lawmaking. All that I was doing, anything that concerns the citizenry, I will go out there to talk to them, engage them, seek their opinion, and there I will give my submission before the National Assembly relating to any law affecting my people. And of course, anything that has to do with the struggle of my people. You talk of water, you talk of electricity, you talk of hospital, medication, you talk of school, lack of furniture, you talk of road network, and so many other things out there.
Especially your area.
Exactly. These are so many challenges that my people are facing. And I have always been outstanding out there to ensure that I advocate for my people, to speak for them, to say their grievance and the things that they actually need. And I have always been doing this, not only in the National Assembly, but equally I have been doing this in so many platforms. The TV, radio, you name them, on my Facebook page and other media platforms. I believe these are some of the things that, in as much as I am concerned, these are my roles while I was there. But notwithstanding, anything that comes by the way, that I believe it could be in a form of development for my people, I have also been always contributing for my people. For instance, there is a minor hospital, I will put it that way, that I built for myself in Jaikunda. 3 villages or 4 villages are sharing that very hospital.
When did you build this?
This is almost 2, 3, 4 years ago, one can say, when I built this. Not only that, but you will recall that during the coronavirus, I spent 2 to 3 months of my salary to support the hospital with medication. We purchased so many medication. We purchased, of course, tickets for 2 months that no individual must buy a ticket if you are admitted there or if you go to the hospital. This equally I did. I also supplied so many milling machines to the women of that area. Not only that, but young people also, I have been supporting them on sports. Not once, not twice. So these are so many things that I have been doing for my people that I believe I can have support from individuals, from my own pocket, and from partners to ensure that I support my people equally. Though it is not my duty to bring physical development to my people. That is the duty of the government. But anywhere I can lobby project, anywhere I can lobby funding, anywhere I can lobby support to ensure that I help my people in one way or the other, usually I do. And I have been supporting them in so many areas, in sometimes maintenance of roads, sometimes maintenance of boreholes, sometimes maintenance of hand pumps, you name them. I have been helping them in so many things. So obviously these were some of the additional things I have been doing, plus my work or my roles and functions as National Assembly member.
Well, fair enough. Let's talk about your party, Gambia Democratic Congress. Is the party dead or alive?
The party is sound and well.
Well, you don't have a representative in the parliament and no one in cabinet.
And by that you mean the party is dead?
So how do you function now? That is the question.
There are so many parties out there.
No,
I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm coming. You see, in as much as we want to make people understand, we must relate to other things. This is what exactly I am trying to do. You must not restrict me on what to say.
No, I am not actually doing that. But the question is about GDC. Maybe you can answer this first. Then you can bring other parties.
I am coming. I am just trying to relate so that people can understand, because there is this mindset.
Okay, you can go.
There is this mindset that most of the people out there will be saying GDC is dead because they don't have any representative. Let me tell you this. When GDC was coming in 2016, 3 months before election, they never had even one councillor, not a National Assembly member, not even a chairman. We contested the presidential election and we achieved what nobody was expecting, that a newly established political party can achieve.
Within 3 months.
Within 3 months. Not only that, we get into the National Assembly election, we were able to pool 5 National Assembly members. We won 5 constituencies. We get into the councillor election. We were able to access or got 25 councillors across the country, plus 1 chairman. In the history of the Gambia, politically, there is no political party that has ever achieved such within that short period of time. But this election, there is no representative. People are making us believe, or people are making our supporters believe that the party is dead. That means most people who are saying this, they are misleading the ordinary people. The party is not dead. Why? Because as we speak, we have 20 councillors that are answerable to the party. 20 councillors out there. How many political parties can you name here that are without such a number? They don't even have single councillor. And the party is still having this. Not only that, the party, now today, the acting chairman in Janjambure Area Council is answerable to the party. If I say answerable, it means
from the party.
He is from the party.
I understand.
That's what exactly I mean. So obviously, let us not make people to believe that the party is dead. So many parties are out there without a representative for almost donkey years. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
But are you comparing GDC to those type of political parties?
Not exactly, but I am telling you today, the parties that you might consider as the biggest political party or the biggest opposition political party, like let's say the UDP.
Now when it comes to the Gambia, the 2 biggest political parties that we have in the Gambia currently are of course NPP and UDP, gauging the amount of votes that they acquired in the last election.
We might be talking about opposition political parties. Okay. If we are talking of maybe 2 biggest political parties,
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Fine.
Yes.
But if we are talking of 2 opposition political parties,
it should be UDP and GDC.
You are talking of UDP and the GDC.
Because
this is obvious.
You have 33,000 votes in the last parliamentary
election. Very well. We still maintain our position. We took that despite all the parties that contested in the election. GDC still maintain its position despite no representative. So obviously the party is not going down. In the presidential election, 6 candidates we came third. In the National Assembly election, so many different parties contested, we still maintain our position, third position. Because some political parties, they were able to have at least 1 or 2 MPs. But despite that, if you galvanize the votes,
altogether,
cast them
across,
we defeated them.
But still without
I agree. But that doesn't mean the party is dead.
Now what does the future
We are
hold
still alive.
Okay.
We are still sound. We are still operational. We are still working. We are still functioning as a political party.
Have you analyzed the results in the last National Assembly election?
That is to say?
Have you analyzed what went wrong? Now we talk about you as a person, as a candidate from Niamina East, but GDC as a party, have you analyzed what went wrong for your candidate in the last National Assembly election?
You see, like if you analyze it, it's just like what I was saying.
The same thing, Niamina, is that people believe that they should not go against
most of the people, okay. Most of our candidates were from the provinces. 95, in fact 99% of them were from the provinces. And there is this mentality injected in people's mind. Like what not only if you are not supporting the president, you are against God. But the NPP also make people believe that, you know what? The opposition political party like GDC, opposition political parties like UDP, there is no opposition political party that can make you achieve anything. So places that believe into this decided not to vote for the opposition. And this is exactly what happened. And people in the NPP specifically targeted the GDC.
Now what will you say to the claim that President Barrow is killing GDC? Not
actually killing GDC. You see, let me tell you. Okay. Day in, day out, of course, I will agree that some people are leaving the GDC.
Cross-carpeted from GDC.
But also, others are joining the GDC.
From which political party?
Across all political parties. Okay. I will tell you this if you don't know. Maybe you might only be interested of those that are leaving the party.
No,
but
I'm not interested in
those that are also getting into the party.
Okay.
We are not actually in a political period at this material time, one can say. But before the presidential election, where maybe one might base his or her claim that during that time, most people were leaving the GDC for another political party. But I will also tell you that others were leaving other political parties to join the GDC. You talk of the APRC. You talk of even the NPP, because we had so many rallies and so many individuals came out to confess that they were supporting President Barrow, but now that they are GDC or they are joining the coalition. Okay, GDC and non-alliance movement plus the GAP and the independent candidate.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Now let's talk about this. In 2016, Honorable Mama Kande, of course, went against the then President Yaya Jammeh. And in 2022, he formed an alliance with Yaya Jammeh's party. What do you say about that?
We never have problem with
no, but you believe
then APRC.
Jammeh was not the best of leaders that the country needed in 2016.
Very well.
And Mama Kande went against them. So what is the reason why he is, with them now?
You see, the coalition that we have
was
a coalition,
non-alliance, right?
Non-alliance movement.
Okay.
This coalition constitutes Gambians who are here. These are Gambians.
I understand.
They call themselves non-alliance movement. They never call themselves APRC. I think this question is for those APRC that joined President Barrow.
But during the campaign,
Yaya
Jammeh endorsed Mama Kande.
Of course. Yaya Jammeh, who is...
And we are talking about Yaya Jammeh in person now.
Yes.
Someone that you went against in 2016.
Yes. Yeah. Yaya Jammeh was actually asking his supporters, Gambians,
by endorsing
Gambians who are here, to support President Kande.
That is by endorsing him.
That's what I'm saying. Endorsing Mama Kande, that does not necessarily mean Yaya Jammeh will come here and dictate what is to happen. No, that can never happen. These are Gambians, people who believe in Jammeh, and of course they believe that they can support Mama Kande. Supporting him is by giving him votes. And we are looking for votes, like President Barrow did, calling for those supporters of the APRC to support him, to give him votes. This is actually what we were equally doing. That is why the APRC was divided. Others never supported Barrow, and they decided that they have to support Mama Kande. They decided to support candidate. So it's vice versa. What Barrow did, that is exactly what we did. There is nothing wrong in it.
National Assembly election is gone. You didn't have any seat. Local government election is on the way. What is the plan for GDC?
We are going to contest in the local government election.
Are you going to contest as chairpersons and also as mayors in KMC and in Banjul?
Well, I cannot ascertain all that, all the places that we might contest in this election. But what I know, GDC will contest in some of the areas, in as much as the local government election is concerned.
How are you going to contest?
Individuals who are interested.
Now I'm asking, are you going to contest?
My very self,
yes.
I am not interested in the local government election. No. As a candidate, I am not interested.
Is GDC planning to have tactical alliance with other political parties?
If they agree so, we can. I believe in it. Well, we are all opposition political parties, and our aim and objective is to ensure that the opposition dominated every sector of political office. So obviously, if opposition political parties agreed that we can establish such, GDC will be interested to partake in such.
So GDC alone cannot win anything?
How do you mean?
Now I'm asking you.
GDC of course can win.
Well, your
local government election, GDC can win. Like, let me tell you this. For instance, if you get to my area is divided into 2 wards.
Okay.
And if suppose I contested, 2 individuals contested as councillors, one might actually win. Because of the wards, I dominated one ward and the other ward also, MPP dominated the other ward. Okay. But the wards are bigger than each other. The votes are, you have more votes in one of the wards than the other. So that point alone will tell you that we can still make it in the local government election. It's by ward, not constituency.
Your National Youth President, MC Cham Jr. said the only way to prevent the total dominance of NPP in the Gambia is by opposition political parties coming together to form an alliance.
Of course, I agree. I agree. Total dominant.
Total dominance, exactly.
Total
That's
dominant.
what he said.
Of course.
Okay, I was thinking GDC as the 3rd biggest political party in the Gambia, you were going to contest, alone for mayoral seats in Banjul and also in KMC. I'm
not ruling out anything. You don't get it. Okay. I'm not ruling out anything. All that I am telling you is I cannot ascertain, I cannot tell for now that GDC will be contesting in place A, B, or C. All that I know, GDC will participate. If there is no coalition at all, GDC, if there is no tactical alliance at all, GDC will of course contest in the local government election. Whether it's going to be mayoral candidate or whether it's going to be councillor candidates or whatever it is, of course GDC is going to contest because we have individuals who are still interested and they are our councillors, they will be interested to contest. And if they call for our support, we will surely support them. Well,
GDC is not in the government, but you are a Gambian. You've been living here since after the National Assembly election. How would you describe the current state of the country?
Devastating.
Devastating?
Very well.
What do you mean devastating?
Everything in this country is difficult.
Things like?
Everything.
Now let's name things now.
I mean everything, unless you get me into things that you might want me to mention.
No, you said everything.
Every sector of the government, every sector of our development, every sector of our life and livelihood is difficult in this country.
Now let's go.
The agricultural sector is devastating. The market, you talk of basic commodities, price of basic commodities.
Just skyrocketing.
Very well. Road networking is a serious thing in this country. Our hospitals, talk less of them. You name of other things, our schools without furniture. You talk of other important things out there that need to be developed. They are out there, the electricity, for instance. So many things are difficult in this country, and there is nothing much that the government can do to eradicate or to minimize it.
Now, we'll talk about them one by one. But before that, I just want to drag your attention to this. When the new cabinet when the new cabinet members were sworn in at the State House in Banjul, the Vice President, His Excellency Batara Diouf, said the Gambia or the country is faced with two pressing challenges. There is the high cost of living and also security issues. What did you say to this, that the country or the government is aware of our problem, but they are not doing enough to solve those problems?
That is negligent.
What they
because
said,
you are the one confirming to
they
me
know
that
it.
they are aware.
Badara said it, so meaning they are aware of our problems.
And they don't want to solve
and
it.
The president,
that is negligent.
It's negligent.
My brother, yes. Call it negligent.
Okay, let's talk about the cabinet, the composition of the cabinet. You talk about agriculture.
The cabinet, every individual in this country, in as much as you are competent, you have the experience and the expertise, you could be given a chance.
Do they all have the expertise?
No, I'm coming. You don't get the wording of my statement.
I get the word. I get the word.
Even you and I, if President Barrow believes that
if.
Yes.
So let's talk about now. If let's drop the if. Already they are in cabinet.
Very well.
Do they all have the expertise and the competency to be there?
Well, I will say some of them I will endorse to some extent.
Who are these people?
I might not want to name names, but I will say some of the cabinet members, they are there and we are watching because we believe they have, I believe for one, they have the expertise and the know-how to man such positions. Okay. So obviously, we are still watching whether they will deliver up to expectation or not. Then they have to prove us wrong. Those that doesn't believe that this individual are not competent to man such a position, they have to prove them wrong. But in as much as I am concerned, they are all Gambians. They have the right to be appointed if the opportunity is there and the competence is there. And that is exactly what the president believes. That is why he appointed them. Now they should prove Gambians wrong, that those that are out there doubting their competence. If they do so, then that is an opportunity for them. Let them move our country forward. This is what actually we are yearning for.
Well, you wrote something on social media. You said Dr. Demasabali is not the right person to be heading the Ministry of Agriculture. And you said you are a farmer and you believe that someone else should have been appointed to head that ministry and not Demasabali.
What I said is very clear, and you have read it or perused it on my social media platform. That is simply, I believe if you are giving an individual a particular position to head or to man, you must check and calculate the background of that individual. Calculating the background of that individual, you must ensure that the individual has the knowledge, the experience, and the expertise of what it takes to handle such a position so that this very area can be moved forward. And I don't actually see that background in as much as this very man is concerned, because all that I know, his connection or his education, his level of education, experience, and whatever not you might call it, has nothing much to do with the agricultural sector, a whole ministry. Unless he proves me wrong, fine.
But in as much as he was from GDC?
Not actually. If we are just looking at that,
now I'm just asking you. Yes.
I'll be so pleased because the man in question is our product. Consider GDC as a school, and this individual graduated from the school. Every individual is praying your products to move forward. And this is exactly what we are realizing today. So if we can have individuals that we trained politically.
So you trained the Masabali?
Of course, Dr. Samali never knew anything about politics. He started politics in the GDC party. Like it or not, accept it or not, this is the truth. And before he was even joining the GDC, that was around 2018, 2019, after the parliamentary election, in fact. Let me tell you this if you don't know. That is when he started politicking in this country. That is the first time this very man joined politics in this country. And he was trained in the very party that we are talking about, graduated from this very party, and moved from another institution. And he was given a high position there. That is our achievement. So we are grateful for that.
Masabali's appointment is an accomplishment or achievement for GDC because he graduated from your school.
Very well.
That's GDC. Now let's talk. You talk about issues that are not areas or sectors that are not doing well in the country. You talk about our hospitals. Dr. Ahmad Samate has been maintained as the health minister. Do you think his reappointment is okay for the state of our hospitals and health centers in the country?
If his reappointment is okay with the president and we are not seeing our hospitals, our health sectors, health centers moving forward, I doubt it, whether the man is doing well or not.
Now, for you, now, let's forget about the president. He already appointed them.
I am saying,
Mm-hmm.
we cannot exclude President Barrow in this.
Now, he has done it already, so we have to...
We cannot exclude President Barrow in this. President Barrow decided to appoint...
Exactly.
Dr. Samate.
Exactly.
Of course, the president is satisfied with everything. That is why he reappointed him.
Are you satisfied with everything?
I am saying, if the president is satisfied and people are still observing that our health sector is not going as expected, then I am doubting his reappointment. I am not very satisfied with this very sector. And Dr. Samate was the one there for almost 4 or 3 years. One will call it. So obviously, everything is not going well in our hospitals. People are dying in our hospitals. People are admitted in our hospitals without bed. People are admitted in our hospitals without medication. People are admitted in our hospitals without blood. People are admitted in our hospitals where they need to be operated, there is no electricity. People are admitted in our hospitals and there is no ambulance to take care of them for referral. Are you aware of this? And you still, or people still out there in government want to claim that this very sector is doing well. I doubt it. Do you know that people who are very vulnerable are spending most of their monies, different currencies, different resources that they have to ensure that their sick patients are cured because there is no medication in our hospitals, there is no drug in our hospitals, there is nothing absolutely one can rely on to ensure that you have that quality health service delivery in our hospitals. There is none. Go to my area, Niamina is today, you get there, sometimes even paracetamol is a problem. Let me tell you this. So obviously, I am not seeing this very sector moving forward.
Okay, now, quickly, let's go to the fertilizer issues. It has been reported that the price of the fertilizers has been increased from 700 to 2,500. You are from the provinces, and you are a proud farmer, as you will demonstrate it on your social media handles. What's your reaction to this?
Well, you see, the fertilizer issue, people must understand everything in a very extensive manner so that they will sympathize the farmers. If you are only seeing it as farmers are just buying just one bag of fertilizer for 2,500, that's nothing. What are you telling me? Me as a farmer, my parents as farmers, the people out there as farmers, they cannot afford to buy a bag of rice with a bag of fertilizer with $2,500. Let me tell you the reason why. You are not only buying the fertilizer as a farmer.
Okay.
There are so many things that farmers are spending on that is making them not to be that rich individual. You go to other countries, farmers are the richest, but in the Gambia, we continue to farm and remain poor in this country. Today, some farmers are without seed because they sold their seed for survival. Okay. Some farmers are without materials for farming. They sold them because of survival. Some farmers today, they are without land, a piece of land where to farm because they don't have it. And you know what? They have to rent. Others that are having a huge number of lands, they have to rent it out. Okay. Me as a farmer, I have to buy a seed. Okay. Me as a farmer, I have to buy materials. Maybe donkey, it could be horse, it could be anything plus the machine. I, as a farmer, I have to rent a piece of land where I can farm with my family. You're talking of myself. my wife, 2 of my wives, 3 of my wives. You talk of my children that are also going to farm. How many farms am I expected to rent? You see, the least that one can pay in order to get a small piece of land, $5,000.
In the province?
Yes. Sometimes it will be more than that, $10,000.
For what period?
Just that season.
Okay,
another season you have to rent again. So all this trouble plus the fertilizer 2,500 on a small piece of land, you are expected to make a lot of profit from that land. It's not possible. You see, most of these farmers, even the fertilizer that the government was selling years ago to $750, most of the farmers were not able to buy it. You know what they will do? They will take loan
to buy
the fertilizer
at $750.
$750.
And now it has been exceeded to
very well. Or that's what they will do. There is this association in some of these communities, okay, community association. They will be raising money, saving money, and the like. Now, during this period, they will withdraw that money, buy fertilizer, and give it as a loan to their members. Others 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bag, 5 bag. When the rainy season elapses, you have to pay. Nothing is left in your account. You as an individual, as a farmer. So we want to now sell a bag of fertilizer 2,500. It's not possible. Farmers cannot buy it. Let me tell you this. So even with $1,500, farmers cannot buy it. Because you are talking of a farm that you need to apply almost 4 or 5 bags of fertilizer. You as a compound head, you are expected, your own farms alone, you are expected to buy almost 10 bags of fertilizer. The groundnut, the coos. The groundnut 10 bags, the coos 10 bags. You talk of your 4 wives. You know us and wives in the provinces.
Yeah, I understand.
3 wives, 4 wives. Each of these wives is expected to have at least 2 or 3 bags of fertilizer. So you as the compound head, you are expected to produce nearly $50,000. When you are struggling to buy a bag of rice, when you are struggling to buy a gallon of oil, when you are struggling to buy basic commodities, when you are struggling to have materials to farm, when you are struggling to have a piece of land to farm. So this is sad. And the menu that we are known for, our great-grandparents, I will call it, they were using menu. Cow doms, you name them. But now, you know what? They are selling this out at a price of $20 a bag.
$20?
Yes. People who are out there planting banana and the like, the Lebanese, you call it whether they are Chinese, whatever they are coming to these poor farmers, buying this from them at a price of $20.
But you think the fertilizer, the price is too high, and it's not possible? It's not
just, it's more than high.
Okay, so let's say...
In fact, if there is a better way to qualify it, I will use it.
No, you can use it for the case of this issue.
It's more than high.
Okay, it's more than high. But you said it's not possible. So what is going to happen?
2 things. Businessmen will either buy the fertilizer and business it in Senegal.
Okay.
Meaning, sold it in Senegal.
In Senegal, instead of the
2
poor farmers.
Yes, our farmers cannot buy. Let me tell you this. Men and women who have the capacity to buy, they will come and buy it in bulk, take it to Senegal and sell it there. Else, the fertilizer will be left dumped there in their store.
But the farmers need fertilizer.
They need it. They cannot buy it. So are you going to take it by force?
So what is going to happen?
They will leave it there.
And they farm without
only 2 things. The government has to bring the price down. If not, forget it. Farmers cannot buy. Let me tell you this. But even with the 750 farmers, we are struggling to buy. You're talking of $1,500 additional price. That is not possible. The government must do something about it. So the government, we are urging them, let them do something about it.
What do we think the government need to do?
Subsidize the price. You know what? The most frustrating issue here is, last year, 20,000 tons, according to them, whether 20,000 tons, whatever it is called, according to them, was purchased, brought in this country
By the
for 2
government.
seasons
By the government?
by the government.
Okay.
20,000 tons of fertilizer, according to the government, were purchased for 2 seasons, last year and this year. So the good thing to do was, what is to be sold last year, let them take that away, sell it to the farmers, and keep the rest for this season. But everything was taken out. You know what? Businessmen and women have to go and buy this in bulk, take it to Casamance, take it to Senegal, sold it there. This season, nothing. This problem could have been averted if suppose there is a serious monitoring, if suppose there is a serious planning, if suppose we are very concerned with the farming sector. So last year, you had the Ministry of Agriculture. They intercepted some of the trucks loaded
with fertilizer,
going to head Casamance, Senegal. The case, I have no idea. What happened next?
Did you ask?
I have no idea. Maybe I will encourage you as a journalist to find out what happened next. I never knew. So these are some of the things that are happening in this country. So these are some of the things that are affecting farmers. So all that I have to say to the government is this. Farmers cannot afford to buy a bag of fertilizer with $2,500. Let them try to subsidize the price.
Okay.
Subsidizing the price means this is what they have been doing. If a bag of fertilizer is $1,500, the government will pay $700 and the farmer will pay $750.
You're so much passionate about talking about farming issues. I know you are a proud farmer, but let's just move on. President Barrow will continue serving for 5 years constitutionally again, as mandated as stipulated in the Constitution and mandated by the people that voted for him. What are your expectations on the current government?
So much. Since 2017, I can say since 2016, what I was expecting is the same thing that I am expecting.
And what are
still,
these? And
because they are still not fulfilled. Good road network. Our road networks are in a horrible conditions. Quality, accessible, and affordable health service delivery. It's not realized. Affordable, accessible, and quality education. It's not realized in this country. The electricity infrastructural development is not realized in this country. You see, when I see people talking about President Barrow built this road, Basse Road, Fatoto Road, you name them. I am telling you, as a journalist, if you know, maybe you can help me so that I will not mistake myself in mentioning this. There is no single project, in as much as I know. You can help me. I stand to be corrected. President Barrow never initiated a project, a heavy project, having negotiated operational and functional in this country that we are realizing today. It has never happened. Tell me one if you know. A project, a heavy project that is initiated by President Barrow, negotiated by President Barrow, worked out by President Barrow, and it is now functional. Tell me one if you know. These projects that they are talking about are inherited, which I accepted. Let us accept that they are inherited. Today, Barrow will be claiming the OIC project. Jammeh struggle hard to ensure that this project is here. We have the OIC hosted in this country. Are you aware of this?
No, just
during Jammeh's era, it happens. So they are claiming some of these projects. I have no problem. Where you stop, that's where another one will continue. Let us accept that these projects were initiated by President Jammeh. And now we are here to continue those projects.
Yeah, but
in as much as we know, or I know, there is no project that is initiated, worked out, and functional by President Barrow.
So do you think your expectations will be fulfilled by President Barrow's government?
You see, very low. If I am to rate my expectation from now against 5 years, it's very low.
Okay.
Very, very low. because I am not seeing that seriousness.
Okay.
I am not seeing that readiness. I am not seeing the ambition to ensure that we are lifted from the struggle we are encountering today. I am not.
Now let's say today, Honorable Omar Ceesay, Adam Barrow, President Adam Barrow, of course, approach you and tell you, I want to appoint you as an ambassador or as a minister. How are you going to accept that?
Let me tell you.
How are you going to accept that?
And as much as I am concerned, I am committed to work for my country.
Okay.
I am committed to serve my country.
Okay.
I am committed to ensure that the people suffering out there are helped out.
Okay.
Provided that the people surrounding me, the people employing me, the people that I am going to work with, they are committed to the same thing. But with this government, I am not seeing that. So obviously,
you are going
to make it short, I don't believe that I can work with this government.
So let's say simply you are going to reject if you've been approached by the government to head any minister.
Very well, because I believe for me to make a change,
GDC should be there.
It will be very difficult. I alone cannot make change in that whole system.
Do you think GDC will ever rule this country?
Of course, GDC will one day preside over the welfare of this country.
When will be this day?
Well, it will come one day.
When? How soon will this come?
Of course, it could even be next election.
Next election?
Very well.
When
GDC, let me tell you, let me make it this way.
Okay.
Next election, GDC will either be the head of state or GDC will be part of those that will rule this country.
How?
There, I mean GDC will be part of a coalition that will be formed.
Okay. GDC will be part of the coalition.
These two things will happen, inshallah. There's no doubt.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much, Honorable Omar Ceesay, for honoring this invitation. Viewers, this is where we're going to end this special interview with Honorable Omar Ceesay. He was the National Assembly member for Niamina East. He was, if not the youngest, but among the youngest MPs in the 5th legislature. Honorable, thank you so very much for honoring the invitation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.